Hello everyone, my name is Neil from Caribbean Tools and Equipment Limited. Today we're going to make a video demonstrating how to use Jaltest on a Caterpillar construction machinery, a Caterpillar excavator 320. So here we go. So the first thing you want to do, enter the construction software, select Caterpillar, scroll down until you see 300 series, 320 excavator. Alright, then you search for your engine system. In this case, engine C7 CDL. Select that. Then select your connector type. So over here we have a location of the connector. And this is the pins of the connector. Alright. So select connect. So once you enter the system, you should see something like this. You should see a screen like this. So of course you have a diagnostics, and in this system we have a fault with a coolant temperature sensor and an engine position sensor. Alright. So if you select the eye, and eye is really again freeze frame data. So you select that, you're gonna see the date it last occurred, the hour it last occurred, one light and active. You go back, the question mark is really a help function, and this will give you some information about the coolant temperature sensor. So this fault code is directly related to a coolant temperature sensor. See information about it. Over here we have a picture of the sensor, and we have a diagram of the sensor and the location of the sensor. Over here now we have the resistance at 68 or degrees Fahrenheit or 20 degrees. You should get about 50 ohms. So again, if you take your multimeter, alright, at 20 degrees Celsius, you should get about 50 ohms. Now if you don't get that, then it could mean that the sensor is malfunctioning. But what if you do get that? Then you will have to check the wiring harness. Alright, so you have to go through your wiring diagrams now and look for the sensor. Alright, so we're going to look for the sensor. This, oh, right, so this is the sensor. So if you look here now, there are basically two wires going to the sensor. So what you want to do, if the resistance is within specification, then you check the wiring harness from the sensor to the ECU. Take in your multimeter, check from terminal 1, check for continuity between terminal 1 and terminal 13. Alright, if you get continuity there, then check for continuity between terminal 2 and terminal 13, alright, of the ECU. And if those two wires have continuity, and if the sensor is within the resistance specification, then the chances are it could be an ECU problem. So either one out of the three could be malfunctioning here. So this is just a quick heads up about how to troubleshoot this issue. So if we go back to the diagnostic menu now, of course we have the fault code troubleshooting. Right? And in the troubleshooting guide, it will tell you step by step how to go about checking the sensor and checking the wiring harness and so on, and eliminating the problem one at a time until you are able to find the problem. So going back to the diagnostic menu now, right? error clearance. Once the trouble has been rectified, you could clear the code out. System data, ECU data gives you information about the serial number and the chassis number and so on. Measurements, of course, in measurements, we have the parameters, and in this engine we have a total of 80 different parameters. You can select all and monitor them. Alright, to check to see if they're within specs. Alright, so of course we have system display, and this will give you a nice display of fuel leaving the tank, alright, through the filtration system to the pump and then to the rail. Alright, so if you were to adjust the engine speed, you should see a change over here. Alright, you should see the pressure on the fuel rail being displayed, and of course it should match certain specifications laid out by the manufacturer. If it is out of specifications, then it could mean that there's a fault somewhere in the fuel system. So that's a nice diagram demonstrating how fuel flows from the tank to the rail and back. Of course, we have actuation of components. We have intake heating system, ether injection, system checks, cylinder cutout is a popular one. You could cut out each one of the cylinder one at a time. Injector buzz tests, you check each one of the injectors if they are functioning one at a time. Injection activation pressure, parameters. For this, you can do some injector coding, injector exchange, read parameters, ECU configuration, display parameters, and so on, and engine management system, characteristic groups. And of course, data recording. Well, data recording is basically, you could do what we call it is used to find hard faults, difficult faults. You could something it allows you to record the driving condition, to detect errors in data measurements, and so on. So something similar to what we call a test drive diagnostics, where if I go to I take the vehicle for a test drive, it's similar to that. So we used to monitor the condition over a period of time to find faults in the system. So having said that, we come to the end of another video in the diagnostics of a Caterpillar 320 excavator. So until next time, see you then.